Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Merry New Year! I love that saying from Trading Places. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1614. It's Merry New Year. It's one of my favorite lines from Trading Places. And we got to watch that last night, which was awesome because it's it's 40 years old, but it still has a lot of great lines in there. It's one of those iconic films that I guess will never date, will always be around, one of those classics. So I had great fun watching that. So here we are, January 1st, 2024. Wow. Whew, we made it. We made it through 2023 and we're ready to rock and roll in 2024. So I suddenly got thinking today, I was like, what am I going to talk about tonight? We've got no more movies going. We did James Bond in November. December was all Christmas movies. Now I'm in January. I have no movies scheduled for the month. I don't even have a theme for the month. And I thought, what could we talk about? And so then I thought, well, maybe some people need to know who we are and what it is that we do. So I'm Helen Brahms. I have a business that's called Before the Dirt Nap. And we're all about living your best life now. And whether that's in travel, going to the places that you've always wanted to go to, we do bucket list, Before the Dirt Nap adventures, which are bucket list destinations, once in a lifetime opportunities with itineraries that we will never repeat. If we go on a cruise ship, they may repeat the itinerary, but what we put before or after the cruise, that just changes the whole thing. And we may even have, group shore excursions in there as well. So we have that going on. We also are into genealogy and family history. And so I am a professional genealogist, and I love helping people discover things about their family, finding out those little secrets that go on in their families. We found out very interesting things. We found people who said, who, as far as the family knew, had only been married a couple of times, and we find like another 2 marriage certificates for that person. We've found siblings they didn't know about. We have found all sorts of different things. And now with DNA coming into it as well, we're starting to help utilize that on showing them how to connect with people through DNA and connecting with relatives and stuff. Now, DNA will show the blood relation, but genealogy shows how you are related. So we help with that. We also help finding out family history as well. Those little rumors. Oh, there was that rumor that my great-great-grandmother used to dance in the dance halls. And, did she ever do that? Or was she one of those dancers and things like that? So there's all sorts of things that we can go in and we can find out through research and everything else. And we've got a good team that works on all of that. So, and then one thing that I have started, which is very, very close to my heart, is the Widows Travel Group. And we have a Facebook group. It's called Widows Travel. I don't even remember what it's called. Traveling Widows. So we have a group called Traveling Widows. Men and women are invited to join us. You do have to let us know the name of your spouse and when they died. There are some questions that you do have to fill in. And the link to the group is in the description below. And so you're more than welcome to come and join us. But this is a community that we are just starting to build. And it's a community for widows and widowers to come together to share some of their the thoughts about being a widow and things like that, but in a safe environment. And the reason we're calling it Traveling Widows is because I remember my very first trip after Brad passed. I went 8 months after he passed. I went on my first cruise since he had passed. And that first day was, I just don't even know how to describe it. It was out there suddenly, in a room full of people, and all of a sudden, and looking around, there's couples everywhere. Like I'm surrounded by couples. They're holding hands. They've got arms around each other. They're talking quietly. They're sharing intimate moments while we're getting ready, waiting for the safety drill to start, for the muster drill to start. And it suddenly hit me like a huge wave just came over me. A huge wave of grief just came over me and almost buckled me. It took a lot of strength for me to stay standing and to hold myself together for the next 40 minutes. And it was the longest 40 minutes of my life. But it suddenly hit me that this is my life now, that Brad will not be joining me on these cruises anymore. It would just be me. And that was really, really hard. And that's all I had going through my head for 40 minutes while I'm trying to hold myself together while they're doing all the safety drill and everything else. And it wasn't until I got back to my cabin and I was able to actually, as soon as I closed that door, I was just a mess of goo on the floor as I allowed the grief to wash over me, recognized it, thanked it. It's one thing with when you're dealing with emotions, thank the emotions for showing up, and that you're able to acknowledge them. And then if they're bad emotions, flush them. Let them come in, acknowledge them, thank them for showing up. And it's one way that has helped me get through the grief process is by acknowledge. And it took a lot of training from my counselor, a counselor that I was working with, that I had to acknowledge the feelings that I was feeling, and some of them I didn't want to acknowledge. But she helped me work through that, and then thanking them for showing up and helping me experience that thing. But now that I was done, I wanted to get back into things and taking those negative emotions and turning them around into something positive as well. And, how can I now use this to go out and help somebody else? So that's kind of what the Traveling Widows is all about. It's about being able to take trips together so that we can have that support from people who get it. And that's one thing when you're traveling through something like when you're traveling on a journey with an illness, with a disability, anything like that, when you can get support from people who understand, who have been there, done that, are going through it themselves, where they get it, that makes the biggest difference ever. The cancer support group that I was part of, Cancer Caregivers Support Group I was part of when we were living in Virginia, huge help on helping me get through things. Yes, we all were dealing with different types of, we had guys in there whose wife had breast cancer. We had a husband in there who had no idea what cancer his wife had. She just had cancer. They couldn't determine, it was undeterminable what the actual cancer was. We also had a woman there whose husband had the same diagnosis. They had no idea. They didn't even know where it started from. They just knew it was throughout the body. No clue where it had started from. And, they're running tests and everything else, trying to figure out where did this cancer come from. So they could best know how to treat it. And they got no answers on any of that. But we had somebody with lung cancer. It was my husband with rectal cancer. There was somebody else who came in there with colon cancer. So we had different types of cancer involved in this, but it didn't matter. The common thing is that we got it. We understood that when our spouses tried to take control, because basically their lives are completely out of control. So when our spouses try to take control of things, we had to let them be and work through it. And we all had very similar experiences with doctors. If we had trouble with doctors or nurses or treatments, and we dealt with side effects, there was a lot of stuff that's common in cancer where you're dealing with chemo and radiation and side effects and some doctors who just don't really give a damn, who seem to not give a damn. Then there are ones that you get doctors. We walked into one doctor's office one time. Remember this, we moved out to California. We had to find Brad a doctor to get his scans done. And so we found an oncologist. And so we went along for the first appointment. The guy completely ignored me. I was sitting right there next to Brad in the examination room, and he comes and he walks over to Brad, holds his hand out to Brad and goes, "Hi, I'm Dr." I can't remember the doctor's name. "Hi, I'm Dr. blah, blah, blah." And Brad goes, I'm Brad. And I turned around and I put my hand out and went, "No, I'm Helen, his wife." And he completely just ignored me, turned around and walked away. And I was like, "Excuse me?" And we got out of there, and I said to Brad, and we got the authorization that we needed for Brad to go and have his scans done. And when we walked out the door, I said to Brad, "We're getting the results from him, and then we're leaving. We're finding a different oncologist. We need to start that right now." I said, "I am not dealing with a doctor who completely ignores the fact that I'm even in the room, or when I spoke, told me I didn't know what I was talking about." So despite the fact that I've been dealing with my husband's cancer for 18 months, and he was brand new and hadn't read the records yet, and I knew what was going on. Yes. So, we all experience those sorts of things. And when it comes to widows, widowhood, it's again, it's a speciality that, you really don't want to have to go on, but it's part of life. And so that's one of the things that we have Traveling Widows for, is to help with that support on people who get it, who understand what it's like to suddenly not have that person in your life, and your spouse, your partner, your loved one, to suddenly not have that person in your life. And now all of a sudden, the things that you did together over the years, now you've got to figure it out by yourself. Like Brad used to take care of certain things, and I'd take care of certain things, and now all of a sudden I'm having to learn what he did to make sure everything keeps flowing and everything else. There are times I'm like, where I have a meltdown, and I just get very angry about the fact that Brad is gone. And because now I'm having to deal with something that he used to deal with, and he did it very well. And like anytime anything goes wrong on my computer, it's like, yes, I know enough to be dangerous on a computer. I do. For those of you who remember going to the C prompts and having to type in commands for your computer to do stuff in DOS, yes, I once deleted my C drive. I got the command prompt. Yes, I was deleting a file, and I ended up deleting my entire C drive. And those of you who are around long enough will know that. And so I put an emergency call into our PC specialist who was in the office downstairs. And he answered the phone. He says, "How can I help?" I said, "I think I just deleted my C drive." He says, "I'll be right up." He came back up, and within like 10, 15 minutes, he had it all restored and everything else, and actually wrote he wrote on a post-it note the actual command I needed to delete a file. So I had it there in front of me. I says, "Yes, I know better." And as soon as I hit that button, I knew I'd done it wrong. So I know enough to be dangerous. But Brad was my technical person. He was the person I would bounce ideas off, and I don't have that anymore. And there's, lots of other things that he would do that I didn't have to worry about. And now I've got to worry about those things. So being able to be with a group of people who get it, who understand that, and in households, people have, people fall into different roles. And mine was taking care of the house and cooking the meals and all of that. And that was something I was happy to do. My dream was to be a homemaker, to stay at home, be a stay-at-home wife and mother, and take care of the house. And, I'm old-fashioned that way. And yes, I understand that there's all this feminism stuff out there and all that sort of stuff, but I'm just one of those people who, this is who I am. Allow me to be that person. You want to be the person who doesn't want to cook, doesn't want to clean and all that. That's fine. That's who you are, and I appreciate that. I respect you for that, because that's your decision. And, some people, the roles are reversed. Some people, they combine them, they work together, which is fine. There's time that Brad and I would prepare meals. If anything had to be grilled, he would go and grill it on the barbecue. I would do all the side dishes. That was his domain. His domain was the grill. But there were other times that we worked in the kitchen together to prepare meals together and that sort of stuff. Those times were fun. There were times I just wanted to potter around in my kitchen and do stuff and just not need any help. And, and he was happy to leave me to do that, because he understood that's who I was and that's what I wanted. And that's what I needed to do. So, different people have different makeup, and that's okay. Don't put anybody down because of their beliefs or anything like that. Accept them for who they are. They may go against your beliefs. They may go against things that you believe in. But if you're friends with that person, accept them for who they are. I have no idea where all of this just came from. So the Widows Group is all about people who get it and understand. They may not understand your specific thing that you're going through, but they will understand the general concept of what it is that you're going through. And it's like with the Cancer Caregivers Group. We didn't understand everybody's cancer, but there was a general concept with cancer that we have doctors, we have treatments, and even though we weren't talking to the specific cancer, we could all offer our own opinions on different things. And it was great. It was awesome. We had a lot of fun in that group. So the Traveling Widows Group is all about that, coming together as people who have lost a spouse, a partner, a loved one, whatever your relationship was, whether you were married or not. We want to be there to support them. support you and help you get back into traveling again. Or it could be that you never got to travel because your spouse, partner, loved one didn't like to travel. So you didn't get to do a lot of your traveling, and now you're free to do that, but you don't know where to start. So we're there to help you with that as well. For those that used to, like Brad and I, we used to love traveling. We traveled a lot. We went to many different places and everything else. And all of a sudden, my traveling partner's not there anymore. So that's something I have to deal with now. What else have we got? Oh, travel goals. What are your speaking of travel? What are your travel goals for 2024? Where is it you want to go? What is it you want to do? We are changing up our business. Our travel business has changed. We've still got our Cruise Planners franchise. In fact, it's been 15 years since we started our Cruise Planners franchise. As of August of 2023 was 15 years, but official start date is 1st of April. This year will be our 15th anniversary. Just the way they work it with their training and everything else. So we're coming up on 15 years, and we're redoing everything. We're going to be concentrating on groups and retreats this year. And our specialty destination is Australia, New Zealand, and the South Pacific. I wonder why. So those are the areas we're going to be concentrating in. If you want trips in other places, yes, we can assist you with those, but we will probably have one of our team members who are a specialist in that particular area connect with you to get the best of the best. There's some places, there's a lot of places in the world I haven't been to yet, but I have team members who have been there and have been there multiple times. So they're able to give you firsthand knowledge, firsthand experience. And so it may not be me that you'll be working with directly, but it could be one of my teammates that you could be working with to help you get the best of the best. Because, when you go somewhere, you want to get the best experience. You want to be able to say, this is what I want to see and do. And I can turn around and go, okay, I can help you do that based on the training that I've had and everything else, but I haven't had that personal experience. But if one of my teammates has had that personal experience in a destination, I can confidently tell them, hey, look, I have no clue on this destination except for what I've read and what I've been trained on. But I have a colleague who has great knowledge in that particular destination. Is it okay if I have them contact you? And they're sort of like, yeah. So that's what we want to do. We want to make sure you get the best of the best, because sometimes these trips that you're taking are once in a lifetime opportunities. You probably won't get another chance to go to Italy or Europe or Russia or Ireland or South Africa, or even go on safari. Yes, those are all on my list. Just giving you places on my list. So you may, I can do an okay job with that based on the knowledge I have and the vendors I have access to, and they would help me create a great itinerary for you. But if I've got somebody who has actually been to those locations and done a safari in Africa, they can give you firsthand knowledge. This is the safari I did. This is where we went. Da 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 da. And they can tell you those little things that just make your vacation even better. Just the little things. Like if you come with me, if you come to want to go to see New Zealand, and you want to do your own driving tour around New Zealand, we can help you do that. I even give you a map with your route highlighted on it, and I'll even put little notes. Hey, stop at this cafe here and try this, or go here and see this, or stop at this point and look at the view. So you get those little personal notes added to the map. That's something that I do for my clients. Let's see, genealogy and family history. Oh my gosh, we have got a great program that's going to be launching soon. I am super, super excited. So we have the program where we will do the research for you. But I know there's a lot of people out there who want to do the research themselves. They're just not sure where to start. So we're actually going to have a do-it-yourself program, which will have guidance along the way, a helping hand. If you have a question, you have somewhere to go. We're going to have some training sessions involved. There'll be it's all on my table out there, on my mind mapping table. So we're going to be having different things like helping you get over through the brick walls. Helping you topple those, helping you find the resources that you need to get the information that you need. So we're going to be doing a little do-it-yourself, but with guidance type of thing. But that's going to be coming. That's going to be coming soon. We're in the process of getting all the material we've got most of the material written. We're just getting it all uploaded and everything else, and doing some test runs and stuff like that. So that will be launching soon. I don't have a date. I'm aiming for the 1st of February, but I'm wanting to get it done before then. So you will be announcing that shortly, and there'll be a group program, and there will be where you'll be in with a group, and then there'll be the VIP, which will be the one-on-one counseling and specific to your tree. So it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be group coaching every month, and then for those that are in the VIP program, they'll be getting one-on-one access, looking specifically at their tree and helping them from there. So we got that coming up this year. So we've got a lot on our plate for 2024, a lot of stuff we want to do. One of the things I did today is I haven't done a vision board for a while. So I pulled a bunch of pictures on things that I want to do this year. And I've been working on my vision board. And so I'm just waiting. So that was my project for today, was working on my images for the vision board. So I pulled a whole bunch of things. Now I'm organizing them. I'm getting them printed. One of the things I have with Mailbox Power is I get free 4x6 postcards. So I just ordered 60 postcards. All of them have different pictures on them for different parts of my vision board, and just placed the order for that today. And so I just had to pay the postage. Yes. So they'll be all bundled into one box and sent to me. And then I can actually assemble the vision board at that point. But that's going to be good to get that, because that's been on my list to do for a while, and I was glad to finally get that off the list. So this weekend has been very productive, because I got a client's project. We had a couple of clients' projects. One I completed, one I'm working on. I got my office reorganized. Let's see, I got my vision board stuff done. So it's been a very productive 3 days. So I've been very happy with that, and a great way to start the new year. And I even put on the thing there like at 11:35. I think it was 11:35 p.m. last night. Saying I can't stay awake any longer. I'm going to bed. The only problem was that I didn't get to sleep till like 12:30, because there had been fireworks going off in the neighborhood since 7 o'clock. So when we started because I'm on Mountain Time, I start this at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 6 p.m. Pacific, and the fireworks started going off while I was on the podcast last night, and they finished at 12:30 this morning. So. By which stage I was already in bed. I was not sleeping, because some of the bangs and the pops and everything got closer to our house. So I'm not exactly sure what was going on with all that. But anyway, that's it from us for this evening. Go out, have a merry new year. Hope your new year got off to a bang of a start, and that you're ready to kick this year and kick everything into gear and go out and prosper and have a lot of fun this year, do a lot of travel, get some stuff off your lists that you need to get done. And, we're going to be bringing you some new guests this year. We're going to be bringing back some repeat guests. And in fact, there's one I need to bring back, because she just did this amazing adventure. So I want to bring her back so she can talk about that with you guys. And then there's some other people that I'm going to be bringing on as well. So we're starting to book up guests for 2024 on the Before the Dirt Nap podcast, and we've got a lot of exciting stuff this year for you guys, and I can't wait for you guys to experience it, to see it, to be able to officially announce things. So it's going to be a super fantastic, sparkling year. So have a great evening, and we'll catch you guys back here at 6 p.m. Pacific tomorrow evening. Hey,